On today's show, so you want to lose some weight? Well, the solution might be as easy as putting your phone away. I'll explain how a new study proves your phone is adding calories through your lips right to your hips. And Mobile World Congress is one of the largest technology conferences where some of the biggest tech gadgets are launched. We found some really bizarre gadgets that were also on display. I'll tell you more. Plus, have you ever dreamed of having a house on the water? I mean, literally on the water. Well, a company has designed a tech-heavy home that can withstand a Category 4 hurricane. And finally, in today's digital life hack, have you ever wondered what kind of dirt someone can pull up on you with just a few searches? Well, I'm going to tell you how to dig deep on yourself for any online skeletons. All this plus more digital know-how, and of course your phone calls here on Komando. Let's start with YouTube, and shame on them again. More sad news that the Google-owned site simply cannot control the videos that get posted there. In 2017, Google made about, get this, $110 billion. They ought to be able to throw some of that cash in this direction to fix all the problems. A mom, who also happens to be a pediatrician, stumbled upon a clip of a popular video game with another video spliced into it. A YouTuber telling kids, get this, how to commit suicide, mimicking cutting motions on his forearm. Watch this short clip.
What the?
Sideways for attention?
Why someone would hide that in a kid's video, I have no idea. You might remember back in 2017, YouTube rolled out new guidelines to better block inappropriate content and comments. Well, you can see how well that's working. YouTube says they simply have too many videos and too many users watching and commenting to patrol their site. So they depend upon algorithms to do this work for them. Well, they've been doing that for years, but guess what? Those algorithms just don't work. So what's it going to take for YouTube to finally clean up its act? Parents, you have been warned. Don't let your kids use YouTube unsupervised. And meanwhile, there are tons of DIY videos on YouTube that will teach you how to fix things, set up your tech, or even build and deploy killer drones. That's right. The Sun in the UK found it's terrifyingly easy to build a drone that can identify targets and fire on its own. A Pentagon defense expert and ex-U.S. Army Ranger said it only takes seconds to find videos outlining all of the software and hardware that you need to build your own weaponized drone. There are apparently hundreds of YouTube videos showing how to attach various guns to drones. It's completely legal for you to build and fly a weaponized drone on your property here in the United States. We've already seen how easy it is for drones to go where they shouldn't, like airports. YouTube says they remove content that tells people how to modify a gun to make it more dangerous. But that doesn't cover drones. And get this, you can even download trained neural networks for free. That allows the drone to decide for itself what it wants to shoot with no input from you at all. Well, imagine if your crazy neighbor knew about this one. And you can buy all kinds of tech online, like, say, the phone hacking tool that's a favorite among law enforcement agencies around the world. Just go looking for them on eBay, and you can score one for as little as $100. That's right, a forensic gadget made in Israel called the Celebrite UFED is used by government agencies around the world to hack iPhones and Androids. They're meant to extract data, lots of data, even if you thought you deleted it. Forbes says it's been used by the FBI and ICE. You're not going to believe this. You'd think that when the government agencies are done with the hacking tool, well, they'd wipe it and use it again, or maybe store it on the shelf for next time. No, not so much. Forbes says they're being sold online without even wiping the data first. So not only can people potentially use it to hack other phones, they can go poking around to see what police have been looking at. Well, a PSA to all law enforcement agencies using these hacking tools. Stop making it easy for hackers to get their hands on one. And for law enforcement agencies that don't have one yet, well, a simple suggestion. Why spend $6,000 to $10,000 on a brand new one when you can just head over to eBay and pick up a used one on eBay for, say, $100? If you're looking to lose some weight, put down your phone when you're eating. A new study conducted by a couple of Brazilian universities and a medical center in the Netherlands was published this month in the journal Physiology and Behavior. And what it found is that if you stare at your phone while you're eating, you pretty much let loose on your caloric intake. For this study, 62 adults between the ages of 18 and 28 were recruited for a snack test over the course of a few days. And they ate during 3 experimental conditions: staring at their phone, reading printed text, and having absolutely no distractions at all. Well, people who couldn't look away from their phone gorged on about 500 more calories than the others. And they were also big fans of fattier foods and people who weren't distracted. So put that phone away when you eat. Otherwise, the next time you sit on your phone, you might end up with an iPad. All right, are you withdrawn, angry, or irritable when you can't text or check your apps? Do you think that you just couldn't live without your smartphone? Well, maybe you're addicted to your smartphone and you should be using a dumb phone. That's right. Smartphone addiction has its own moniker, nomophobia. Well, that's short for no mobile phone phobia. The signs and symptoms of smartphone addiction are both physical and psychological. All right, the good news: there are now phones that won't let you download any apps, browse the web, or email. To kick the habit, be prepared to spend hundreds of dollars on a phone by Swiss company Punkt called the MP02. For $400, you get a phone with a really small screen that'll make calls and send text messages. That's it. No apps, no internet connection. All right, it'll tease you with a built-in 4G, but only to use that phone as a hotspot for your other devices. And if you're looking to save some cash, you can get a dumbed-down Nokia that will also have none of these features that you're looking for. But there is something familiar. This dumb phone will still have that old dumb battery as your smartphone. The Kim Komando Show is also a national radio show. That's right, you can hear us on over 400 top stations from coast to coast and around the globe on American Forces Network Radio. And as a radio show, a big part of that, well, it's you, the callers. And manning the Kim Komando Show phone calls week after week is awesome Andrew Babinski. And you are in the Kim Komando Show man cave because being a call screener, a lot of people think that it's kind of an easy gig because as we move from radio to TV, I will tell you, I have had quite a few people send me their applications for your job.
Yes, but they're not willing to work for the slave wages I am.
Well, if you ever are no longer an intern,
yeah,
then maybe we could talk about like upping it just a little bit. Yes.
You see this story, a Korean company has created a robot.
Yes.
They want to put this robot in every single home in the world.
Okay, I would love a robot.
Its main goal, though, is to detect human emotion. And if you get lonely, it's going to come and bat its little eyes and cheer you up.
And give, like, tell you a joke?
It has all different abilities. It can talk to you.
Awesome.
It can take selfies with you. And the best part, it's only 1.5 feet tall. So it's like having your own Oompa Loompa.
And if you don't like it, just kick it.
Drop kick it.
Get out of there.
Done.
That's right. The little things that you learn week after week here on the Kim Komando Show. And you want to stay right where you are because coming up, we have all of your phone calls.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGL2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 800-664-4540. That's 800-664-4540.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris.
Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with Book a Jet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone, or with business associates, or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
If you want to hire the right fit, post your job to the right place.
Indeed works to simplify your hiring process. We give you access to a large pool of talent and provide tools that help you filter candidates for the specific skills and experience you're looking for. It's no wonder more than 3 million businesses worldwide use Indeed for hiring. Increase your visibility to great candidates with a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/TV2.
You can Google anything, but you can't Google my trusted advice. So just pick up the phone and call me right now at 1-888-825-5254.
Our next call is Leo from Sparks, Nevada. He wants to know, how can he monitor his children on social media? Oh, by the way, it's a 13-year-old.
Oh, a 13-year-old on social media.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that they're not doing anything horrible.
On Snapchat.
Oh, on Snapchat.
Good luck.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. So, Leo, you have a 13-year-old on Snapchat.
Yeah, I'll get right to the point. Yeah, we have a 13-year-old. She's had an iPhone for a number of years. This year, she has her first boyfriend, and her grades are suffering a little bit. Anyway, instead of texting mostly, they've reverted to using Snapchat, which my understanding is once you send a message and it's read, it's deleted and you can no longer find it.
Leo, you know that that's not true. I mean, you know, the whole idea with Snapchat is, yes, that once the message is sent, it's gone as far as the services. But, you know, anybody can take a screenshot of it, right?
Okay. My wife and I, we have Androids, and she has an iPhone. I was just wondering if there's some sort of app or some sort of way that we could do that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about kids and phones, okay? First of all, you have some red flags, and thank you for calling. The fact that, you know, she has a boyfriend, the grades are suffering, and she's probably getting a little bit more secretive, which, you know, as a teenage girl, girls do that. Now, Snapchat in and of itself on an iPhone is darn near impossible for you to put on any spying software. And the reason why is that on an iPhone, you have a closed environment. Now, if you do a Google search on this, you'll see that there are programs like mSpy and FlexiSpy and Spy Era, and they all have got those same names, right? And they say, oh, yes, it works on an iPhone. Until you dig a little bit deeper, it may only work like on mSpy, it only works for an iPhone 6. If you look at TruthSpy, it only works for iOS 10. Well, we're on iOS 12 Plus, okay? So the option is for you to jailbreak the iPhone, which I don't recommend, and so that you can install some of these on there. Or you get her an iPhone, or pardon me, or you get her an Android, so that this way you can install a program like FlexiSpy or mSpy that gives you the flexibility so that you can get real-time notifications, everything that she's doing. You know, everything that they do in their life now is going to be happening like this, right? With the screen right in their face.
Right.
And the only thing you can do is be that parent that you don't really want to be, but I've got to watch you. You have to know the passcodes. You have to be able to get in there. You need a Snapchat account so that you can friend her. She needs to know the boundaries. When she needs to do her homework, the phone needs to be put in a box in the kitchen so that this way she doesn't have access to it. Because what you're doing is you're not training her just for now. You're training her for the future. If you want to put the spying software on her phone, you're going to have to take away the iPhone. You're going to have to get her the latest Android. And then you're looking at programs like Truth, FlexiSpy, mSpy, Spy Era. And at that point, you really have to think to yourself, if I'm concerned so much about what they're doing on their phone that I need to spy on their phone, maybe I just need to take the phone away. Hit Komando.com for all the links that you need. And Leo, thanks for your call. Are you tired of getting colds and sinus infections or coughs that take months to cure? Well, you could be getting sick from the air in your home. The air in our homes is up to 5 times more polluted than the outdoors. We're constantly breathing in mold, bacteria, viruses, and airborne chemicals. So I got a Molecule. Molecule isn't like the air purifiers that you're used to. It uses nanotechnology that actually destroys mold, bacteria, viruses, and chemicals in your home. The current HEPA air filter technology was invented in World War II, and it just can't trap microscopic pollutants. Molecule does. Imagine the last time you visited a forest Remember breathing in that crisp, clean, pristine air. Well, that's how folks describe Molecule. Try Molecule for 60 days. And if you're not allergy symptom free, if you don't sleep better, if you don't love it, just return it. It's that simple. Visit getmolecule.com and get $75 off with promo code KIMTV. That's spelled MOLEKULE. Again, visit getmolecule.com, promo code KIMTV.
Next up, Bob in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, Bob has a couple of experiences. I'm not going to say conspiracies, but he's got a couple of experiences he would like to talk to you about. His wife and his son, they were texting back and forth about getting something to eat, talking about a fast food restaurant. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they both get a text message from the same restaurant that they were just texting about.
You need like that music, that...
Or a little dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Then there was another experience. It was just a conversation. No one was texting. No one was Google searching. Just having a conversation about a theme park. And all of a sudden on the Facebook feed, an ad shows up for that same exact theme park.
Oh, my gosh.
It's shocking.
It is.
So Bob has two questions for you. Who is listening and how do we get them to stop?
That has happened to me.
It's happened to me multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So we were in a lift from San Diego, the baseball stadium in San Diego, going back to our beach condo. And the Lyft driver turned out to be someone who used to work for my sister like a decade before. So I text my sister, hey, do you know John Doe? And she's like, oh yeah, I remember him. Tell him I said hi. I loved him. He was such a great guy to work with. 10 minutes later, Facebook wanted to know if I wanted to be friends with John Doe. So either one of two things. They saw it in my text message, or Uber or Lyft told them who my driver was and wanted to connect us.
Okay, no, or it could have just been Facebook, because you probably had Facebook open and you have location services.
Right, and maybe he did as well.
Yes, and it figured out that you two were in the same car. I mean, I was in the kitchen talking to Barry and Ian about hiking in Patagonia.
Okay. Not a normal conversation.
Okay, I have never Googled hiking in Patagonia. I have never looked at Patagonia. It's just that I have a friend, Anita, who has hiked Kilimanjaro, and she said to me, would you like to go hiking in Patagonia? I mean, this was like, we were hiking so that we had no devices. So that nobody had known anything about Patagonia. I go upstairs, I go on my computer, and guess what kind of ads I see?
Hiking in Patagonia?
Yes. And I had only mentioned it that time in the kitchen for 5 minutes.
Well, you got to tell Bob how we can get this to stop.
It's kind of creepy, isn't it, Bob?
It is pretty creepy. It's a huge mystery I know only you can solve.
Well, here's the deal, is that on our phones, in our lives, we have everything that's listening, correct?
Yes.
All right, so here's the deal. What I think is likely happening is that either your wife, your son, they have some type of app on their phone that is open in the background, and they're logged in. They may not even know what it is. And when they installed this app, like the Facebook app, is that you gave the app certain permissions. Although Facebook says they're never listening, I find that hard to believe. But here nor there is that these apps can turn on the microphone. They have access to the microphone, and they can go ahead, and the whole idea is serve you targeted ads. So how do you get rid of this? Well, you have to look at each individual's app's permission to see whether or not you gave that app access to location services, to the microphone, to the camera, whatever it may be, and then disable that. We've got the steps on how to do that. But it all ties into our privacy and how much information we're willing to give up. And there are some people that say, hey, that's kind of cool. I mean, now I got a coupon to Chick-fil-A or whatever it may be. But other people like me, I'm saying, I don't want everybody to know that I was hiking in Patagonia or I was even thinking about hiking in Patagonia. We've got tons and tons and tons of privacy tips over at komando.com. You know, keeping your privacy front and center is one of the big goals here at the Kim Komando Show. And we post over 100 new articles every week at the website. So if you're looking for any additional tips or step-by-steps, go ahead and hit the website. That is, of course, komando.com. Hey, coming up, one of the biggest technology conferences, the MWC, revealed some of the biggest gadgets coming out this year. But Andrew and I want to talk about some of the weirdest stuff next on Komando.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris. Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with Book a Jet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone or with business associates, or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
You need to hire great people. We make it possible. Indeed works to simplify your hiring process. We give you access to a large pool of talent and provide tools that help you filter candidates for the specific skills and experience you're looking for. It's no wonder more than 3 million businesses worldwide use Indeed for hiring. Make your job stand out to the right talent with a $50 credit to upgrade your first posting at Indeed.com/TV1.
Like many other companies, we create a lot of data, and all that data needs to be stored somewhere safe. It was starting to get pretty expensive, and then we discovered Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. It's so affordable, it blows away all other forms of cloud storage. Less than just the annual maintenance cost of on-site storage. Wasabi is at least 80% less expensive than Amazon S3, with no charges for API requests. Wasabi's lightning fast. On average, it's 6 times faster than Amazon S3. When we need to retrieve a show from storage, it's almost instant. Unlike other companies, they don't charge me to get my own data. We don't have to guess what we'll be spending on storage each year. Because it's so fast and cheap, they have just one tier of service. Compare that to Amazon's S3, which you need a PhD in cloud storage to figure out what tiers to use and when. Wasabi's been a game changer for us. You can learn more and even try it for free at wasabi.com. So what are you listening to when you're getting your steps in or maybe on your commute? I have the best thing for you to get. Of course, it's all the Kim Komando podcasts. We have the show, we have Komando On Demand, Tech News Today, and Tech News This Week. You can find them at Apple, Google, or wherever you do get your podcasts. All right, a few times a year, there are always these big consumer computer and electronics conventions. And in the spring in Barcelona, Spain, we have the Mobile World Conference. So we decided to take a look at some of the, I guess you'd say, misses that may have happened at the Mobile World Conference. And so, Andrew Babinski, have you seen our list?
I have.
Are you pretty excited about buying any of these products?
Wallet is staying in pocket.
Well, let's start at number 1. Would you like to explain to our viewers the significance, the monumental shift, how this is going to change the future, Andrew?
This invention is the anti-constipation belt. It's like someone strapped an iPad to a squatty potty. They've taken the belt, put it around your waist, and it moves around everything inside your body to allow and help you to go.
Okay, somebody had to do the business plan.
Right.
The research and development.
Correct.
Get all the funding.
Which has got to be tons.
Okay. Beta testing.
Nice belt. Is that leather? No, it's a laxative.
It's called the Mo-Woot 1. The Mo-Woot 1.
Well, you need Mo-Woot.
Because
if you have no Woot, you need some Mo-Woot.
Yes, and it will retail for around $700. Or you could just take an X-Lax.
Right, for like $1.
I think this is a home run, the anti-constipation.
Not going to be a beta tester.
Okay. Number 2 is for footballers, the smart shin guards.
Yes, by footballers, you mean soccer players. Yes, because if you play soccer, you have to, my son, he's 4. He's not allowed on the field unless he has shin guards on. 3 goals over the weekend, by the way, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And so with the smart shin guards,
it tells you if your shin got kicked?
Yes. These smart shin guards, so that this way you get real-time data processed through an AI algorithm delivered to your phone via an app and in the coach, so that this way you know if you actually got kicked in the shin.
You can tell.
Is $199.
Doesn't sound like a winner.
I don't think so either. Do you remember a ruler?
Yes, I do. I can recall a ruler.
Okay, and you would use the ruler for what?
To make straight lines.
Correct. Okay, well now, if you have trouble writing a straight line.
Which I do. I can't draw.
Okay. Then you might want the new pen called the Jet Ride.
Ooh.
Yes. It's specially designed to help people draw straight lines because rulers, they say, are a thing of the past. So you have a couple of rollers on each end.
How does it make me draw a straight line?
Okay.
I'm actually curious about this one.
It's all the rollers and the artificial intelligence, but it's only like $10. So it's going to be
$10. They can't be that high
it's going to be like fully disposable. But even at $10, from a business perspective, you've got to sell a lot of pens to a lot of people that want to draw a straight line in order to make any money whatsoever.
They've already raised $14,000 on Indiegogo.
Really?
For the straight line pen. And they have before and after examples. I gotta be honest, those lines are pretty straight. As advertised.
Really?
Yes.
So you would buy this?
Not a chance in the world.
I wouldn't buy it either. Do you have trouble sleeping?
No, I sleep like a baby.
Not at all?
2 seconds after my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep.
Okay. I don't have any trouble sleeping either. But I do say that every once in a while, I will take a melatonin. Have you ever tried that?
No.
Oh, gosh. I mean, okay.
Calm down.
No, I took one last night, and Ian came in to say goodnight. And honest to gosh, I looked down and went, oh, good night, honey, I love you. And I was like...
Were you snoring?
Would I snore?
Never. The digital goddess cannot
I would never
possibly
snore.
I'll ask your husband later.
So now we have the nasal breathing maker. It's an anti-snoring device.
Wait a minute. The name of the product is the nasal breathing maker?
Listen, there were a lot of people that sat around a marketing table for this.
That's like calling a car motor and tires get you go places. The nasal breathing maker?
The nasal breathing maker, it's a device, again. They say it strongly resembles medical tape. It's strapped between your chin and the area between your nose and mouth. Basically what it does is it keeps your mouth shut.
You're going to have us start wearing them in studio, even if we're not sleeping.
So by keeping your lips pressed together, the device opens your airways and it stops you from snoring.
It's like a Hannibal Lecter mask.
Yes. It's awful. You and I, we need to develop a product. I mean, if people like these, they can get money.
I came up with a ton of them. Remember when we used to do Brand New or Not True?
I loved that segment, Brand New or Not True.
I still have the scripts. We can pull one of them out.
I think we could get people to band together. I mean, what if we found a product and we did an Indiegogo?
And that's what you always say when it comes to Indiegogos. The video production is one of the most important things. You've got a whole building here to make videos.
I know, we've got video.
We can come up with the nasal breathing, make you no snore nor.
Okay, so I think that this should be a goal for 2019.
To get...
We come up with one thing. That's all you need is one thing.
Right.
Think about it. We could like go buy an island or something.
Blow this popsicle stand.
I know, and don't say it too loudly.
Day jobs are for suckers.
Despite what anybody says, money absolutely does change people. He did. All right, a robotic Buddha wants to give you blessings. I'll explain next here on Komando.
Be a caller on the Kim Komando Show. Call 1-888-825-5254 or send your questions and comments to askkim@komando.com.
The robot revolution is continuing to grow, and they all want to deliver your packages. There are mini robots from Starship Technologies that deliver food and drinks. They look like high-tech beer coolers on wheels. There are also a bunch of startups trying to do the same thing. Well, Amazon's testing a new type of package delivery, too. More about them in a moment. But now delivery superpower FedEx is jumping on the robotic bandwagon. They're rolling out their same-day bot. It's a battery-powered robot that can navigate around people and traffic using several cameras and LiDAR. That's short for light-based radar. It's like Amazon Prime Now, but no humans involved. The delivery bot cruises on roadways and sidewalks with top speeds of about 10 miles per hour. It's fairly small, so it's meant for delivering small packages. And don't expect to see the same-day bot hauling around and dropping off the couch you just ordered online. FedEx is partnering with AutoZone, Lowe's, Target, and Walmart to test their last-mile delivery robot. And partnering with engineers, it would be better, but Target and Walmart, let's face it, it's a lot cheaper. All right, now let's talk a little bit about cars. And in the past, we talked about cars getting smarter, or maybe more like data miners on wheels. Now BMW wants to take that to a whole new level with something that they're calling gaze recognition technology. You'll see where I'm going on this. There's an AI-powered high-def camera watching you the entire time, taking note of whatever you're looking at. The camera tracks your eye and head movements, keeping tabs on your wandering gaze inside the car and out. So imagine this. You're driving along and looking at a restaurant. Your helpful car will chime in with its menu and maybe even ask you if you want to book a table. You can also control things by pointing out them, like an air vent or a sunroof. Don't know what a button in the car does? Well, you just point and ask. So just think about the potential for targeted advertising. If you feel a yawn coming on, boom, Starbucks pops up right on the screen. Scratch your nose? Well, maybe you see a map to the nearest store that sells Kleenex. The BMW iNext with the new natural interaction technology won't be available until 2021. Maybe it'll make your trips more convenient. But if I just happen to be passing by a seedy motel and I glance in that direction, I don't need my car asking if I want to book a room for, say, 30 minutes. New car sales are driven equally on the tech that we find inside the car, as much as the style on the outside of the vehicle. I'm betting that within 18 months, you and your car will be interacting with glances, emotions, and the tone of your voice. Okay, so from cars, let's talk a little bit about your house. It's been a rough couple of years for hurricanes, and that got one architect thinking. So back in 2017, he put together plans for something that he called livable yachts. Not just any yachts, ones that are hurricane-proof. And this is really cool. They've got a hydraulic system that can raise them about 20 feet during a surge, so cross-rising water's off the list. And they can also withstand up to 156 mile-per-hour winds that come with Category 4 hurricanes. No power, no problem. Solar panels on the roof mean these yachts can run completely off the grid. Although they're dubbed yachts, they can be built on water or land. And they're big, too, more than 4,000 square feet. They're real. They debuted at the Yacht Show in Florida this year. And then there's the price. Get ready for sticker shock. You better have $6 million laying around if you plan on ignoring that next mandatory evacuation. Well, blow me down. All right, how about we move along to artificial intelligence? And stop me if you've heard this one before. A humanoid robot of a long-dead deity named Mindar is teaching Buddhism in an ancient Japanese temple. I know, it sounds like something that could be Netflix's next big hit, but it's actually true. An artificial intelligence humanoid robot has been modeled after the Buddhist goddess of mercy and is preaching in the ancient Japanese city of Kyoto in a temple that opened in 1619. The android Buddha, called Canon, has a human-like head, torso, and hands. The rest of its body is a bunch of circuits. It stands around 6 feet tall. A video camera is installed in its left eye, which allows it to focus on its subject and then give the appearance of making eye contact. A robotic Buddha doesn't come cheap. Care to guess how much this electronics cost? Okay, let me tell you, you're just wrong. A lot more than that. It's estimated at about $925,000. I know what you're thinking. It's not as good as a Buddha's face on a piece of toast, but it's pretty close. All right, why are Apple products so expensive? Well, in today's Money Tip, I'll explain, and we'll go back to the phone lines next here on Komando.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly, and that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-561-3235 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-561-3235 or go to SoClean.com.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris. Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with BookAJet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone, or with business associates, or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 800-866-0053. That's 800-866-0053.
Welcome back, and coming up in our digital life hacks tip is just a few moments away. It's all about doing a complete background check on yourself. Of course, maybe you Google your name, you set up some Google alerts for your name, so every time somebody posts something about you, you actually get a notification. But what if you have these digital skeletons? Where can you find them? Well, we have the best sites. And of course, the phone lines are open from coast to coast. Love to hear from you. 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And as always, we have awesome Andrew Babinski sitting in the Kim Komando Show man cave. Hello there, Andrew.
Hello, Kim. I don't know which part of Anna from Salem's call I'm more excited to tell you about. She applied for a job in Greece.
In Greece.
The job listing went viral, and 35,000 people applied.
No, honest?
Yes. She got the job.
Okay, how did she get the job? I mean, what set her apart from all these 35,000 other people?
I'm just shocked there's 35,000 people that applied to take care of cats in Greece.
Wait, what is this?
That's going to be her job. But there's another part of the call that I'm excited to tell you about as well. She wants to replace her laptop, which is 11 years old. That's museum quality.
Well, I'm trying to think, an 11-year-old laptop, how big that was. How much did that really weigh?
And that's why she's got to get rid of it. It's too heavy to travel with, especially not a new job in Greece.
A new job in Greece. Gosh, so Anna, so you won this job? I mean, you actually got this job over 35,000 people?
I did. I'm still pinching myself. It's amazing. It is a miracle, truly.
Okay, so what sets you apart from anybody else who applied for this job, do you think?
So many people have asked me that, and I never actually thought to ask them. I was just so overjoyed about did a cartwheel, which would have broken both my legs probably. So I didn't, but I am just so grateful and so happy. So I don't know. I know that they're going to be posting something, and I can't wait to read it, what they write, to see why I got the job. I'm just really thankful.
Okay, so tell me about taking care of cats in Greece. What is this about?
So on the island, there lives about 20,000 people. There's an estimated about 13,000 stray cats. And not that long ago, the people actually kind of treated them as such. I mean, they didn't know what to do, and they weren't getting spayed or neutered, and the economy was low, and people didn't have a lot of money to put towards that kind of stuff anyway. And as you know, cats multiply quite rapidly. So I'll be actually working at the sanctuary, but I'm also in my off time going to be donating my personal time with the local rescues and with the local vet, working with them, doing spay-neuter clinics. I'm actually already trying to line up some teams to go over there of doctors. I work at a vet clinic, and I've got some that are willing to volunteer time and go over there and help with spay and neutering. So they've already changed the mindset quite a bit. It's so awesome to see these Greek men and women, these little old ladies, and they're out there feeding these animals and helping us trap them and get them fixed so that we can get the problem under control.
You know what? That is so cool. That is so exciting for you. Okay, I'm not kidding around, get it? Sorry. But you definitely need a new laptop, girlfriend.
Yes, it is so heavy.
Boy, how much do you want to spend on a laptop?
Like I said, I like to buy quality. I need it to be somewhat lightweight.
Okay.
Lighter. Anything's got to be lighter than what I have now.
It's got to be huge.
Yeah. And it needs to be able to handle, function is my main priority. I need it to be able to handle a lot of photos because part of what I am going to be doing there is doing a lot of photos for the rescue and for the other rescues I want to help out with.
Okay, so here's basically what your choice is. Okay, do not buy a Chromebook. Okay, don't even think about it. If you want to stay with Windows, I'm going to point you in a direction of an HP, an Acer, an Asus, somewhere a Lenovo. And I can put some links for you at Amazon.com to give you the specific model numbers. But I'm thinking somewhere in the $600 to $700 range. Okay.
Okay.
If you would want to go with a MacBook, you're looking at about $1,000. Does that interest you at all, or no?
It does. Honestly, it needs to. I'm more concerned about the function and the quality. I'm familiar with both Windows and Mac, more so with Windows, but we use Mac at work. So whatever's going to be the best for another reason I haven't upgraded my laptop is because I haven't really needed to use it. Well, now I do. So it needs to be able to handle a large amount of photos and be able to get online and stuff and work well with whatever camera I do get and work well with my phone.
Okay, so if you have a MacBook, then you're going to be looking at an iPhone.
Okay.
Because those two work together well. It's like the whole Apple ecosystem. So that this way, if you take a photo on your iPhone, bingo, bango, suddenly it's saved in the cloud whenever you have a Wi-Fi connection. And it's saved automatically on your MacBook accordingly. And so everything is all synchronized, which is also really amazing. So if this was something that you think that you're going to be doing for the long term, instead of messing around with like an Android phone and a Samsung tablet or an HP or a Lenovo, but it's totally up to you, and I can't spend money that you don't have, is that I'd look at, say, a decent $500, $600, like I mentioned, $700 Windows-based laptop, Windows 10. But if you're looking for more convenience, and so that this way everything does become integrated, you really can't beat the convenience of Apple products and this whole ecosystem. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to post some links for you over at Komando.com. And on the other side is that I want you to make sure that you keep us updated, Anna, on exactly how things are going in Greece for you. And if you have any question about why Apple products are so expensive, don't worry. We have that covered this show, too, because in our upcoming Money Tip, we're going to be talking about the 3 reasons why Apple products are so expensive, so you don't want to miss that. And again, Anna, bon voyage. I wish I knew how to say that in Greece, but I don't.
Discover your next favorite podcast at podnet.com. Join Kim Komando as she shares compelling insight, humor, and her own personal opinion on what's happening in the ever-growing digital world.
Like many other companies, we create a lot of data, and all that data needs to be stored somewhere safe. It was starting to get pretty expensive, and then we discovered Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. It's so affordable, it blows away all other forms of cloud storage. Less than just the annual maintenance cost of on-site storage. Wasabi is at least 80% less expensive than Amazon S3, with no charges for API requests. Wasabi's lightning fast. On average, it's 6 times faster than Amazon S3. When we need to retrieve a show from storage, it's almost instant. Unlike other companies, they don't charge me to get my own data. We don't have to guess what we'll be spending on storage each year. Because it's so fast and cheap, they have just one tier of service. Compare that to Amazon's S3, which you need a PhD in cloud storage to figure out what tiers to use and when. Wasabi's been a game changer for us. You can learn more and even try it for free at wasabi.com.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGL2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 800-664-4540. That's 800-664-4540.
If you want to hire the right fit, post your job to the right place. Indeed works to simplify your hiring process. We give you access to a large pool of talent and provide tools that help you filter candidates for the specific skills and experience you're looking for. It's no wonder more than 3 million businesses worldwide use Indeed for hiring. Increase your visibility to great candidates with a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/TV2.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 800-866-0053. That's 800-866-0053.
All right, it's time now for our weekly digital life hacks tip. And every show, we put one of these together for you where we teach you how to do something. And this week, it's all about doing a background check on yourself. That's right. Looking for digital dirt and digital skeletons. You know, which are the best sites? How do you really go about looking? Because with relative ease of finding information about anyone on the internet, you have, of course, search engines and social media. Sleuthing around is pretty much par for the course online, but it goes deeper than that. Every institution that you plan on dealing with, well, they want to get your history, whether you like it or not. If you're applying for a job, if you're planning on renting an apartment, you're trying to get insurance, it's more than likely that companies, institutions, even individuals that you've come in contact with, well, they're all going to run a background check on you. I mean, simply put, information and privacy go both ways, and it's all in the name of security. You want to know more about them, and vice versa. They want to know more about you. And mind you, these reports are comprehensive, and they include things like your income level, loans, debts, any criminal records, and other sensitive data. This is why it's super important that you run a background check on yourself, because you want to see, you have to know what data these institutions, any prospective employers or various companies can request about you. So what you want to do is check on your records and always make sure that they're accurate and complete, because these background checks can drastically affect various aspects of your life. All right, so let's get started. Where are the best sites for you to go? Well, what you want to do is start with consumer and credit reports. I mean, thankfully, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have the right to know what's actually on your consumer report, whether it's on Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. But don't forget, the 3 major credit reporting companies, they set up the annual credit report site. What you want to do is go there, that's important, and hit the Request Your Credit Reports button. Just follow the steps. But here's the deal. Every time I mention annual credit reports, somebody sends me a note and they say, Kim, you said it was free, but it wasn't free. Okay, what that means is that you went to the wrong site, okay? Only go to the links that we have over at Komando.com. Next up, if you're looking for a job, employment screening reports. We have all the various sites that companies will use in order to get your background if you're applying for a job. Then there's tenant screening reports if you're looking for an apartment. There's check and bank screening reports. Don't worry, we've got you covered there. Insurance reports. I mean, insurance companies, they have their own set of insurance screening companies that they go to before they approve you for coverage. And so what you want to do is hit those sites. Here's another site for a background check, and this is probably something that you never thought of. Medical. That's right. Have you ever really looked at your own medical records? Did you even know that they exist? Well, if you hit this week's Digital Life Hacks, we've got some sites for you to make sure that you know what's exactly in your medical record. And also there's other consumer reports and data that you can check. But all you have to do is go one place. For all this information, we totally have you covered at Komando.com. Hit Komando.com, and once you're there, hit the Show Pigs button right on the homepage, and you'll have all the steps that you need to find all the digital dirt that someone can find out about you. Here at the Kim Komando Show, we have a lot of data that needs to be stored. We use Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. When most enterprises think of cloud storage, they think of companies like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. This is a costly mistake. Yes, companies like Microsoft and Amazon, they've been doing it for a long time. But that's exactly the problem. Their technology is last generation. Wasabi is next generation cloud storage that's 80% cheaper and up to 6 times faster than the better known brands. Unlike Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, data storage is all Wasabi does, and they're experts in it. It's their passion. They truly understand the needs of enterprise. So they don't have things like egress fees. Companies don't know at the start of the year how much they're going to access their storage, so if they're getting charged to get their data back, it makes it impossible to budget. So Wasabi just doesn't have those fees. You can learn more and even try it for free at wasabi.com. That's wasabi.com. It's time now for this week's money tip, and every week we put one of these together for you too. And this week, it's a question that so many of us have asked. Okay, why are Apple products so darn expensive? All right, Apple isn't credited with making the first smartphone, but it sure did revolutionize the industry when the iPhone debuted. Do you remember the year? It was actually 2007. And back then, the entry price was $499. Oh my gosh, times have certainly changed, right? In 2017, Apple broke through the $1,000 barrier with the iPhone. The base model cost $999. But if you wanted more storage, okay, which we all do, it's well over $1,000. Now, a once shocking sticker price of $1,000, we expect that now. And it's not just iPhones that are super pricey. Apple products in general are just plain expensive. But why is that? Let's dive into the world of Apple to find out why its products are so pricey. Well, first of all, if we start off with the MacBook, okay, it starts at $1,299, $1,599 maxes out. And then, of course, you have the MacBook Pro, the MacBook Air. And the MacBook Pro, we shouldn't just skim over that, $2,700 for a MacBook Pro. That is super expensive, right? So here is why they're so pricey. First of which, the software and the materials factor. The 64 gigabyte of the iPhone X costs Apple $370 in materials. It has a starting price of $1,000. So there's a lot going on here than just materials. They say you have to take into research and development, the engineers, designers, testers, marketing, and then also other people that are on the team contribute to these costs. There's also software. When it comes to Apple computers, you're probably paying for things you don't need. A Mac comes loaded with tons of software that's been developed by Apple that you'll never use, but it's still factored into the retail price of the machine, which is different than most Windows computers, where you have to choose to add different software. Like, it just doesn't come with Microsoft Office. On your Mac, well, you get Pages and Numbers, you get the drift. And consumers are willing to pay for the reputation. I mean, I don't know if you remember those commercials years ago. It would be like, I'm a PC and I'm a Mac and you get viruses and I don't. That's not necessarily the truth anymore, but still, an Apple computer is less likely to get hit with malware than, say, a Windows computer. And so people are willing to pay extra for that peace of mind. And then Tim Cook also weighed in on why these things are so expensive in his company. He said the phone has replaced, and he's right, the digital camera. You don't have a separate one anymore. It replaced the video camera, your music player. It's replaced all of these different devices. And so in this tip, we talk more about the breakdown and the prices. And also, we go into the bottom line to tell you which iPhone gives you the biggest bang for the buck. And let me tell you, it's not the latest and greatest iPhone.
Standby control. Take.
All right, what about John, Paul, and George? No, I'm not talking about the Beatles. Coming up, how social media is changing the way that people are actually naming their kids. Next on Komando.
Fade to black.
Like many other companies, we create a lot of data, and all that data needs to be stored somewhere safe. It was starting to get pretty expensive, and then we discovered Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. It's so affordable, it blows away all other forms of cloud storage. Less than just the annual maintenance cost of on-site storage. Wasabi is at least 80% less expensive than Amazon S3, with no charges for API requests. Wasabi's lightning fast. On average, it's 6 times faster than Amazon S3. When we need to retrieve a show from storage, it's almost instant. Unlike other companies, they don't charge me to get my own data. We don't have to guess what we'll be spending on storage each year. Because it's so fast and cheap, they have just one tier of service. Compare that to Amazon's S3, which you need a PhD in cloud storage to figure out what tiers to use and when. Wasabi's been a game changer for us. You can learn more and even try it for free at wasabi.com.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 800-866-0053. That's 800-866-0053.
When people name their child, they usually consider things like nicknames, initials, and family or famous names. My son was named after my husband, so there's a 4th in the family tree. I think that's pretty cool. But that's not good enough anymore. Now you also have to consider what impact a name will have on his or her future social media and online life. And many parents will only give their child a certain name if that name is available, say, as a website address or social media profile. Looking at the latest online trends, peace, harmony, and hope, along with rainbow and dawn, are on the increase for girls. And for boys, there's Ocean, Saffron, and because of the game Fortnite, there's Rogue as popular names. Okay, parents are definitely looking beyond John and Jane, and it's harder and harder to find a social media account name that hasn't already been taken. So more unique names for girls are popping up, like Fanta and Lemon. And for boys, the name ESPN is on the increase for some reason. For girls, the first name Man is gaining popularity. All right, I'm confident that these names will attract social media attention in the future for these kids, but maybe not in the way that parents are hoping. I'm Kim Komando, and thanks so much for watching our show. Keep the fun and digital know-how going each day with more of our videos, podcasts, and DIY tips. Till next time, I'll see you at komando.com.